let's do number 2 of the core muscle challenge, which are the heel taps. Again, I'll work through all the different levels of arm positions and using the ball or not using the ball. And then you can work out which level you like and then gradually progress. So come to sitting on the mat if you're not already on the mat, and then roll yourself back using your abdominals. Get yourself into a good relaxation position. Pelvis is in neutral. Feet and knees hip width apart. Make sure you've got the same amount of weight all around your foot. So if you feel that you've got a lot of weight going through your heels, not the front of your foot, then draw your feet back a little bit nearer to your buttocks. So all these exercises start from the double knee fold. So using your core, come into that double knee fold. Remember, you're not moving the core in any way as you do that. So we'll start with the arms by the side, but you're not using them. You will use them as little as you can. So flex the feet, and remember the leg stays in this position now, hinging from this hip socket. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, pull in your core. So just the whole leg hinges in this shape until your heel reaches the mat, and then breathe in and draw the leg back up in that shape until the knee's back above the hip. So you're breathing out, pulling in your core as you hinge the leg down, breathing in to bring the leg up. Again, you can place your hands on this lower transverse abdominal here because you can really feel it working. If you can't, then pull in your core a bit more. Remember, your pelvis isn't shifting either forward and backwards or to one side or the other. And this is slightly harder than the toe taps because your heel has further to go than your toe. Let's do one more on each side like this. So, or even with your arms, without it being on the ball, you can have your arms up here to stop you subtly using your arms. So actually I'll do one more on each side with my arms up here. Because you don't think you're using your arms on the mat, but sometimes you are. And again, keep that focus on the pelvis, that you're not shifting your weight in any way. So that's without using the ball. So I'm going to come out of my double knee fold to get my ball. First of all, I'm going to get the ball with very little air in it. So I'll go and get that. So I've got my ball here with just a little bit of air in it. It will still challenge my core stability. And then lift your pelvis, place the ball underneath the pelvis, not just in the middle of the lower back. Get yourself centered, tuck the pelvis around, engage the core so that you're using the core and you're not putting any strain on your back. And then come into your double knee fold again without any wobbling at all, keeping the feet and knees hip width apart. Flex the feet. So we'll start, again, breathing out, hinging from that hip socket. So imagine you've got someone's hand behind your knee and you don't want to lose it, but you don't want to crush it in any way or even put any extra pressure on it. So you keep the shoulders relaxed. Try and not use your arms that are on the mat because you're going to start taking them off very soon. Always pulling in the core to keep that pelvis stabilized. So I'll start with one arm around my waist and carry on. Again, the other arm on the mat is not being used, or as little as you can. If you find that you're wobbling, either slow it down or pull in your core a bit more. Keep the shoulders relaxed. If you tense up, you will wobble more, funnily enough. You're not stabilizing yourself in any way. So when you've got one arm around your waist, do a couple of repetitions on each side and then swap the arm that's around your waist. So this is quite a lot harder than being without the ball. So if it's your first time, then just take it slowly. Just work from the core, stay in the center. There'll always be one side that it seems to destabilize you more than the other. So then really focus on that. So I've done a couple of repetitions with that arm around my waist. And then if you were just sticking to one arm around your waist, you just keep swapping your arm, doing a few more repetitions and then keep swapping over again. So now I've got both arms around my waist. So again, if this is your first time, you might feel a bit unsteady, so take it slowly. Still don't drop the foot in order to reach the mat. Otherwise, you're not actually strengthening your core anymore. You're just cheating. So we can have both arms around our waist. So you can either have your arms around the waist. Mind you, the elbows have to be completely off the mat. Sometimes I see people with their elbows just quietly creeping and supporting them on the mat, but actually that's not challenging you enough. And now you can have your arms above your chest. Actually, arms around your waist or arms above your chest. I don't think there's any difference in its difficulty or its easiness, but it just gives you a change. Something else to do. I'll do a couple of repetitions on here. So normally I like to do about 12 of these. I'll do a couple more. Always alternating. Don't just do one side then the other. Otherwise you find a sort of fixed position. So you have to keep challenging yourself when you alternate to stay right in the center. I'll do one more on each side. Keep the tension out of your thighs, the tension out of your shoulders. Just work from that lower abdominal and pulling in the pelvic floor, if you can focus on that at the same time. And then when you've finished, hug your knees into your chest and then come out of your double knee fold, and I'll get the ball that's got lots of air in it. So just lift your pelvis off, roll your spine back down, and I'll get the big ball. So I've got the big ball now, and as you can see, it's really pretty inflated. I always keep a tiny bit of give, otherwise you just bounce off again. So it's the same in all the exercises, but if this is the first one you've come to, then I'll repeat myself. So make sure again the ball is under the back of the pelvis. Keep the pelvis tucked under. Let's start with arms by our side and then work through this. So again, this is harder than just being on a little inflated ball. So keep centered. Try and keep as steady as you can. Back to flexed feet. Breathing out. So it's even further to go when you're on a big ball. So don't be tempted to just drop the foot thinking, where is that mat? It will come. Just keep taking the leg down until you reach the mat. So I'll just do a few on each side on this. Don't tense the shoulders. So that was with arms by the side, using them as little as you can. I'll start with this arm around my waist first this time. So as you go through the repetitions, don't start to let your mind wander and not use your lower abdominal. Also, once you stop using your lower abdominal, your thighs start to tense up. And now I'll swap the arm that's around my waist. So just everything else stays relaxed. Just focusing on using that transverse abdominal, gentle engagement in your pelvic floor. And now I'll have both arms around my waist. When you first do this, you start wobbling. So just take that time to relax the shoulders, really pull in the core, get yourself steady before you start. As soon as you stop using that lower abdominal, you will become more unstable. So that's with my arms wrapped around my waist. And now let's just do 4 with my arms above my chest. So not pulling my shoulder blades away from the mat. And my palms are facing each other. Last one. And then hugging my knees into my chest. So with this nice inflated ball, you can just push the ball away, let your spine gently come back on to the mat, and then still use your core as you come out of your double knee fold. Well done. So that is number 2, and I hope you enjoyed those. Thank you very much.